Okay, I've just finished reading it once, and I want to see if I can do this in one take. This is my essay called Chastity as Choice. I have met forces that I can't name, or invoke rather, at the end of last month, and at the start of this one, November. That means, without too much explanation, summoning their being with intent by using their names. I learned quite quickly that a clean cut, or mark made with purpose, an instinctive, deliberate, concise action should not be returned to. Even give tributes, gifts, or thank yous to, or praise. So these otherworldly presences were very much keen to know what I wanted. I will tell you how the list formed and grew. The first thing I always said was the same, a girlfriend. That never wavered. Apart from that, they'd ask, almost as a command. So, to marry the girlfriend, my next deepest wish said. Apart from that, again came the reply. So, with the path of natural alignment I was on, answering these questions, I said perfectly clearly that the next two things I could only ever possibly want, if they couldn't deliver on what I truly wanted, the only other things that I could think of were, what do I want out of life? I want a long, happy one. It was casually dismissed or glazed over, and then came a genuine answer to my prayer. My fourth, peace of mind. For as long as possible, total peace of mind and freedom from the psychic exertion that had been building and spiking on up unbearably. This is what I said, loaded into those three words, peace of mind. Now, what I mean here is total peace of mind, freedom from psychic exertion that had been building, and spiking on up. That means an increase in brain activity that is not solicited, words and voices which clearly aren't mine, yada yada. This is what I said, loaded into those three words, peace of mind. I think the forces knew this and answered fantastically well. It came, it delivered monumentally, with a few bumps and swerves along the road at times, sure, but my prayer for total peace within myself had been answered in the affirmative. Hallelujah. Let's skip forward now till today, right now. 1:30 a.m., Saturday, 29th November. Obviously, this was written last night. For my sin last night of returning to the scene I should have left barriered for myself, this quiet has crept in. Against my will, of course. Many tingling particles of what feels like crystal and golden glitter flood my head. It comes and goes, at various times, durations, and also varying intensities. Not so good, I think, because that could lay the groundwork for something far more dangerous to my health. A path I firmly, strongly, and sternly believe is wrong to go down. The path towards a psychosis. Or, apart from that, worse, a psyop, a psychosis that mostly makes sense. In other words, by being pelted at, the worst sorts of psychic ringing felt across my head. That is what I want to happen the least. This paragraph deserves a bit of explanation. I was receiving voices, commands, and so on and so forth from a ringing bell sensation across mainly the back of my head, but across the whole head as well. And it did feel like my head was a glitter ball filled with bells that had been shaken up and set down. But it didn't stop as quickly as that either. It would be all day, every day for about 9 days or more. So back to chastity. It might seem like an empty gesture, and sure, it didn't look like I was ever going to find a girl that would look at me or signal at me in any way that would make it okay for me to go over and talk to her. But what if I just stopped looking for that? No assumptions and no clever reasons have been made on my behalf to support this. This stance of true indifference, not without the admission and admiration of beauty, mind you, mine's marks pretty close to how I feel naturally about it in my core at the minute. But this is freedom, this is choice, this is something moral to me. Not to engage, but in all seriousness, this makes things a lot simpler and better news for all, I should think. Now, let me tell you, I don't see this as any higher or a higher moral high ground except to myself, my past self. On the severe other side, I don't think of myself as a total loser either. I'll tell you what I am, a very fortunate man living a unique and privileged walk of life. And if I feel to cherish that, that's the real crime.